Well, hello, everybody. Oh, cheers. Oh, I'm coming to you from my lanai with my geeky tiki Dorothy. Oh, honeys, I came to tell you all about this fabulous book that I got. It is called Golden Girls Forever, an unauthorized look behind the lanai. Oh, and honey, it's even autographed by Jim Colucci. Let me show you here. Jim Colucci, yes! I got this when I was in New York. That's what it looks like underneath. I had to take the paper cover off. That's what the paper cover looks like. I hope y'all go check this book out. I have found some really fabulous things, and I thought, well, why not do a little story time on the lanai while we're all in quarantine? Right? I mean, why not just come have some fun? I mean, this is what everyone looks like right now in Miami. Am I right? Can I get a, am I right? Thank you in the back row. All right. So I'm flipping through the book and, I've read it 1,000 times and I just got to tell you, it's the most fabulous book that I've ever read because it's all about my beloved blessed girls of Golden. And so I'm going to read you some stories in here, okay? The first one is all about sharing cheesecake with Betty White. Now, I'm not going to show you all the pages, but I'll read the little excerpts from it. Oh my God, so this is Betty. I love cheesecake, but I never eat on camera. I just toy with it. But ask Rue about what she does, because I'm telling you, if it's on camera, it's a license to steal. As far as Rue's concerned, it has no calories, so she'd not only eat the cheesecake, but when Sophia would make spaghetti, she'd eat that too. I think we got some insider trading here. Okay, as an actor, you get so many bad scripts, but when I read the pilot script for The Golden Girls, I sat up and took notice. Oh, it was a difference from anything I had gotten before, and it was all because of the wonderful writing. They did have good writing. The four of us get a lot of credit, but we couldn't do it if it weren't for the amazing scripts. I promise you, as an actor, you can screw up a good show, but you can't save a bad one if it's not on the page. Can I get an amen? From the first table read of the script, we knew we were onto something. Everyone was so perfectly cast that the minute you heard the lines coming out of your mouths, it was so exciting. Oh, I've never had a read-through like that. All of a sudden, I'd start throwing them over the net, and I'd get them right back. We all had the same reaction, and we could feel the chemistry. We could taste it. Tastes like fava beans. The magic of the show was the way the writers drew our characters so distinctly. All these years, I've used the analogy of 4 points of a compass. We balanced each other out beautifully, and not only were the lines wonderful, but they could shoot the reactions of the other characters. So pretty soon, since the audience got to know these women so well, they'd start to anticipate. Oh, how is B going to react to that, or Rue, or Estelle? Oh, it made for a very exciting 7 years. Can you believe it was only 7 years? Oh. Right from the very beginning, Rue would always remark how evidently Rose and Charlie had had a very active sex life. Well, she would know, right? Off camera, that was always Rue's thing. Come on, Rose, get more action than Blanche does. That was the beautiful part about the writing. We could get away with murder and talk about so many things. At our age, everybody knew we'd been around the block. A little, long in the tooth, as they say. And so the talk wasn't as salacious as it would have been with the younger women. And it was funnier because we were our ages, rather than if it had been young enough for the participants. I always believed that Rose was truly naive more than dumb. I'd hear people calling her ditzy or a dumbbell, and I would defend her. Of course, she didn't think her second-grade teacher was Adolf Hitler, so it was a very fine line. In playing Rose, I found that the most interesting challenge was that even as the actor, I had to be kind of think funny and play on things in the head, and I had to be careful to keep the awareness not only out of my mouth, but also out of my eyes. Rose couldn't ever look like she got it. She had to be innocence personified. That was the saving grace that would allow her to get away with saying something like, "Can you believe that backstabbing slut?" Those were so much fun about Blanche. Oh, those were the lines where the producers would warn me, if you get it, you're never too smart for the room. They knew coming from Rose the line would work, but coming from me, it wouldn't. Rose is like me in some ways, in her optimism and her wanting to think that life always has a happy ending. That's just another Saturday night. Oh, that was in the script, so I didn't think I brought that to the role, but it was just something that was terribly comfortable for me. She also has a Viking temper, like me. I'm afraid it wasn't always sweetness and light. When she got mad, she got really mad. But I'm not as prone to telling someone off. No point in getting into a confrontation. I'll just wait until they go home and then I'll bitch like mad. Oh, from the start, 75% of our mail has always come from young people, especially if they're in their teens and early 20s. Fans will often come up to me and quote every line of a St. Olaf story, and I don't blame them. I mean, they were brilliant. When I'd read a script and see one, I'd be so thrilled. I don't do accents, but there was just an undulating rhythm to those words that I was able to pick up on still. And still sometimes before work, I'd see a newspaper story with some very difficult to pronounce Scandinavian names, and I think, uh-oh, well, I'm going to get it. And sure enough, it would show up in the script. I swear the other girls would make bets that I'd never make it through some of these difficult words. So when I told a St. Olaf story, I always had to look over their shoulders instead of looking them in the eyes. Because I knew they were just sitting there thinking, y'all going to screw up. You know you are. Well, when the show premiered, we were at #1 over Bill Cosby, who at the time owned the world. We felt that's just curiosity, that first show. 4 old broads are not going to continue to get that kind of ratings. Well, we stayed. And I don't think we were ever out of the top 10, which it was such a privilege. It was just one of those things that comes along, I would say, well, once in a lifetime. But my once in a lifetime had already been used up with Mary Tyler Moore. So to get it again, and then on Boston Legal and David E. Kelley's writing, I mean, how lucky can one old broad get? Oh, those are the words our beloved saint, Betty White. Betty, can you hear me? Betty, are you sheltered? Betty, thank you for being a friend. You've traveled down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached would say, thank you, Betty, for being a friend. And thank you for all the wonderful memories. Oh, we love you, Betty White. Mwah.